Elections in many countries are becoming closer and closer together. The differences between one party to another, or how many votes there is for one party to another, are becoming very slim. So there is barely 51% versus 49. Some countries it's even less. And I would like to propose an idea or theory of why this is happening. And one of the premises for this theory is that we are diverging into yes or no, into 0 and 1, to binary thinking. And I'm sure because this is easier. Instead of having 3, 4, 5 ways, we diverge into yes or no, Republicans to Democrats, right versus left, instead of being more dispersed. There is no 5 options, there is 1 or 2. Even in countries when there is a coalition, there is more than 2 parties, those parties tend to fall to the right or to the left instead of having a whole new thing. So we are diverging humans, or you can say just that's kind of a law that we fall into yes or no, zeros and ones, and not into more dispersed ideas. So that's the premise here. So we are doing right or left. So one of the 2 ideas. Based on that, the reason there is more and more divergence in elections is because the law of big numbers that states that the bigger the data set, the bigger the occurrences, the more likely they are to fall in a 50-50. So if you flip a coin 1 or 2 times, or 10 times, there is some probability of you getting 10 heads. But if you throw it 1,000,000 times or trillion times, the numbers will be much more closer together. You will have 50-50 or 50.0001 versus 49 and the rest. You know what I mean? So the bigger the number, the more closer it will get. And therefore, what's happening in elections is there's more and more people voting, and more people are aware of everything that is happening around the world. Therefore, there is more likelihood to everything to fall either right or left, either to here or to here. And that's again based on that premise that we fall right or left. So the bigger the population, the more people that will be engaged in elections or in doing something, they will fall right or left. And it will be very, very balanced, because that's how systems tend to go. They tend to balance themselves out over time. And what it means, I don't know what it means. It means that we're not going to have much of a... No one party will be very dominant in the near future, because no one would get 60 or 70%, because big systems are not tend to go that way. Could be flukes, yes, but it's not as likely to happen in the future, because that idea that the bigger the system, the more people are engaging in it, the more likely to be divergence, or very close. They would be very close together. There is still the question of why it didn't happen in the past. I don't have all the data in front of me, or didn't do very thorough research about past elections around the world and how close were they. But I'm sure there were not as common in the past, and which is a good question why it didn't happen in the past. One of the ideas is that most people were not engaged in it, or many people were not voting, or people were not in the news cycle all the time. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a good question. But I still think it's a good idea and something to think about. Thank you.